Hey, I'm Mitch, and Austin was supposed to be here with me today, but he's a no-show. I don't know what happened to him. He was here earlier, and I don't know, he's not here now, but I feel some strange presence.
Mitch, Mitch, can you hear me? I don't know where I am. It's dark and scary. There's something chasing me. Am I dead?
I don't know what's going on. I feel like he's trying to speak to me. I guess. Oh,
Where are we?
I don't know. This is your world.
How
isn't
did
it?
how did I get here?
I don't know. Maybe we are some kind of mediums. We're going to give you a review of the new Xbox or Microsoft exclusive, The Medium, coming right up. Alright guys, first off, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you find out when we post new content, and make sure to check out everything else that we've done. We hope to see you here again.
And be sure to check out our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram at Super Platinum Achievement. Make it pretty easy for you, so go ahead and give us a follow on each one of those. And without further ado, a review
Of The Medium. Now this is a Microsoft exclusive, and we played it two different ways. I played it on the Series X, Austin played it on PC. So we have two different views of the game. We thought it was going to play almost identical. It did not.
Yes.
We'll tell you about it.
Yes.
So we'll dive into that in a second. But first, as you know, with all our reviews, we break it down into categories. The first category being visuals. Now that is many different things in the game, how pretty it is, how the textures are done, all that. It can bleed over a little bit into another category, but we're going to stick with visuals for now. Visuals on this game were pretty good for the most part. There's a couple times where it was gorgeous to the eye. The ray tracing on it was fantastic. There's parts where you're in the forest that were stunning.
Yeah, it was one of those games, obviously, when everything you weren't interacting with looked great.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, the stuff that you're interacting with was a little, I think, just a lower fidelity because it had to be moving around and stuff like that. But like you said, when you're in the forest, it was just like, whoa, this looks really good.
It looked real.
Yeah, it did actually. So that's pretty cool to see. Like, I mean, that's where we're gonna go in the future. So it's kind of nice to finally get a little taste of what this next gen might be looking like here. So
yeah. So the environment looked beautiful for the most part. It got brought down a little bit for the design of the humans. They didn't look perfect. Their mouth movement was a little bit.
And they were just little, like, I wouldn't say blocky, but they
animatronic a little bit.
Movement. Yeah, it was just kind of like.
The way they walked, it was very just like.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was super fluid. I don't know what the mocap situation was.
So overall, for this new studio, that this is their most ambitious project yet, it was very impressive with what they did. And we landed on a 7 out of 10 for visuals. Pretty good. Not as good as some other games we've done. Obviously, like The Last of Us. Amazing visual.
Ghost of Tsushima, definitely, I think, beat the visual category there. So this one, 7 out of 10. Like, it was good. They just weren't, like, mind-blowing, I think, is kind of where we landed. So, and that leads us to the next category, and that is audio. And that's actually where this game did a really great job.
Yeah.
Audio
is one of those categories where if it doesn't stand out a whole lot,
it's good.
It did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this one stood out in many areas where it brought extra emotion to the game.
Yeah. So the background music was obviously very poignant with what's going on at the moment in the game.
Nice word.
Yeah, smart. But then the voice acting was really well done.
Hello? Anyone? Thomas? You there?
I mean, most of the game is you inner dialoguing to yourself, and it was done well. Like, you believe that she's actually, like, talking about this from a personal experience and not just someone reading off a script. So that's kind of cool. And I think kind of the other thing was just the setting. It's, the tone that the music set in the game. It's a very dark,
subtle sound effects of the steps, the movement around the environment, when you're transitioning different worlds.
Yeah, and like you kind of had to use sound a little bit to evade. I don't really want to spoil too much. These are kind of spoiler free as possible. But you kind of have to use your sound to evade something, stuff and things, and scary things, and because you can't see them. So you actually have to listen to where they kind of are. I mean, you do kind of get a mechanic to kind of see them, but you still use your audio cues to figure it out.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell when they're in front of you, when they're behind you, when they're slightly to the left, to the right. That is if you have surround sound or any decent headphones.
I was playing with a headset, so I think you had surround sound.
Yeah.
And they do recommend that this game is best experienced with the headset, so at least mine
Yeah.
did. So audio, we gave a 10 out of 10 because
Yeah.
it was, I think, exactly
No issues.
what it needed to be.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
The next is performance and polish. Now, this is the one that kind of bleeds in with visuals a little bit. Like the polish on the human models was a little bit off. I personally didn't have any performance issues, though. I had no frame rate drops, no glitches, nothing like that. The only thing, like I said, that I ran into was just the visual polish aspect.
And a couple pop-in textures, right?
Yeah, there was. It was, maybe two. And there's a part where you do step into a little bit more of an open area, and that's when you could tell this game was designed to be an enclosed space. Because you step into the open area, and a couple pop-in textures are way out in the background. And the only reason you notice it is because it never happens anywhere else in the game. And that was impressive to me. But other than that, it was really, really well done on the Series X.
Yeah.
Now, Austin had a different experience.
So I didn't have the issue with the pop-in textures on my computer because I think I was able to render quicker than I think the X does. But the issues I had, and I just chalked this up to being a subpar PC port, which happens. It's pretty common when games are made for specifically for the console and is ported to the PC. I was hoping for a little more since it was just a Microsoft exclusive, that the PC would have gotten maybe a little bit of extra love. But the main issues I had was I would get a ton of frame drops on transitions. So like I'd go to a new room or cut scene or whatever. Like at the beginning of each cut scene would kind of and then go or but like I'd go into a new room after doing something and like I have a frame counter so I can see it would drop to 7 and then back up to 60. So I think it was just loading, and I don't know why it just worked that way, and that was kind of an issue. I think it's just the loading was slow, which is odd. And then that actually did cause me to get stuck in one spot. I think I walked into a room before it finished actually loading. I think that's the issue. I just figured it out. I think my computer was loading the game faster than the game could load itself. That might be what was going on. Because I had no load times. I don't know what yours was, but
none.
So I think I walked into a room and I think it finished loading and it grabbed me into the floor and I was just stuck. I could move in a circle.
Yeah, he sent me the video and he's just stuck in the middle of...
I would just walk in place and I sprinted and did everything and I had to restart, which is like a 12 minute loss of time gameplay there, which kind of was a little upsetting. Like, dang it! So I had to I was at the very end of a puzzle that I had to redo the whole thing, and I was like, that's kind of unfortunate.
So he had some big issues. Like I said, I had
nothing game breaking. It was just annoying.
So we kind of did an average and landed in the middle, and we gave it
an 8
out of 10.
It wasn't game breaking for me, and I might be a rare case of someone.
Yeah.
But people have different PCs with different specs, so they could come across more serious issues or less issues. 8 out of 10.
Well done.
Yeah.
The next one is what brings it down a little bit. Not that it's horrible, but it just didn't do much, and that's gameplay.
Yeah.
Gameplay is one of the most important aspects of a game, and this one's kind of like a walking simulator. All you do really is go around and you push X or square.
I played
or whatever button you're using.
I used the DualShock 4 on the Xbox app on my computer because I don't have an Xbox controller, so it worked with the DualShock 4, not the DualSense, however, which was a little upsetting because I know you said there was some haptic feedback in the Xbox version, so I was kind of hoping to get that, but I didn't. So unfortunate. But yeah, it's mostly a walking simulator. You do pick up items, very classic Resident Evil style.
Pick it up, you get to read it, you get to look at the item and find out a little bit of its backstory.
Yeah. And then if you need to use something you picked up earlier, a menu pops up and you click it, then it goes out, and then bolt cutters, and you have to use the bolt cutters.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple that way.
There's a couple puzzles that were really nice, but we wanted more of them. There were some really well done puzzles in there and well done aspects of gameplay, but the best parts there was only 3 times where it happened.
Yeah,
It was
so
we wanted
it's,
more of that.
You know, due in line with you being a medium, your kind of whole purpose is to
Speak to the other side.
speak to the other side and kind of let them, if they're stuck in limbo or whatever,
Cross over.
You help them cross over, and like that's part of some of the puzzles. But yeah, it was just so little. I wanted more of that.
It was a little bit of a miss there, and they could have extended the game and made it longer. That's another issue we had coming up in our next
So
category.
yeah, gameplay we decided on a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, not
it was,
great, not horrible like you said.
It was
but
just good. It was good, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was just
Above
kind
average.
of. It was just kind of.
Yeah.
Meh. But what did help with the gameplay was the story.
Story, probably the number 1 or number 2 most important part of a game. Gameplay and story are right there. And the story on this game was really, really good. You paid attention to everything. You would want to listen to every little bit of dialogue because every little bit of dialogue meant something.
Yeah,
every item you picked up and read something about.
And that's what I didn't expect. There's like deep backstories to the characters. You kind of quasi meet. I can't honestly really meet characters. You kind of just learn what their experience was through this place. There's a deep history to this like hotel resort that you're staying at, the Neva Resort, that's long since abandoned. You kind of you're discovering what happened there, which is kind of cool. And then you kind of learn who the people are that were involved during this.
And it gets better and better as it goes on. You find out more. You start putting pieces of the puzzle together.
And then
there's some
it's
really
also
fun
like
twists.
figuring out you as well. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. It was fun. There's some twists and turns. Definitely had its good moments of like horror, suspense, some like jump scares. Like there was times when I'm like no, and like just like I got run, and like I'm gripping my controller.
Heart rate
Yeah,
simulation.
it was pretty good. And I think definitely the coolest part about this game was what they advertised is the 2 worlds being rendered simultaneously, it was well done. And I was actually expecting that's where my frame drops would happen. No, that's not where they occurred actually.
But you almost wish it would have happened more than it did.
Yeah, that's true. You're not really you're not all the time. And the way I was, when I saw this game, I thought you could just bounce back and forth between the worlds. It's not like that. It's pretty scripted when you go into the world. But other than that, it's a pretty cool idea. It worked well. The puzzles, like you had to, complete something on one side of the world to activate something on the normal world.
He had to go back and forth in a few times, different worlds, and that's kind of more gameplay than story.
Yeah.
But which we'd left out of the gameplay part, so we'll include it here. But overall, the story really well done. It's what probably was the best part about this game, and we gave that an 8 out of 10.
So we wanted more. Like we said, there's some things we just wanted more of. I wanted a little more like fleshing out of, character and stuff. I feel like there was like 2 or 3 hours of like just stuff we needed to have, but we just didn't get it. So
With what we got, they did a really good job.
So 8 out of 10, and that leads us with an overall score of 7 out of 10. It's a good game. I don't think it's a great game. That being said, I recommend playing it. It actually was a lot of fun.
It's a quick play.
It's a really it's a really good game, just not a great game.
Yeah. Really good game. It's a quick play. You can probably, if you're going to sit down, you'd have nothing to do in a weekend, you can finish it in a weekend.
It's about 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
So it's pretty short. It's not too bad to get through. There's definitely times when I had to just stop and turn it off after like some scenes. I'm like, oh, I need to take a break because that it does get you pretty good. So.
Yeah. It was one of those games where my wife was like, I'm uncomfortable right now. And I'm like,
because
she's got pretty tough skin with the horror thing.
Yeah, some of the characters or things you see in the spirit world is pretty bizarre. So
just different, well done. The big scary thing that you encounter is unique, very unique, and
it's creepy too. So we'll just ooh, he talks all.
But yeah, the medium 7 out of 10. We do recommend the game.
Yeah, it's
not as good as some of the games we have reviewed, but for the first game that the studio has made on
and definitely an advantage.
Scale.
It's on Game Pass, so you don't have an excuse not to play it. If it was a full price game, we would have been like, maybe wait for it on sale, but right now you don't have to pay anything if you have Game Pass. So
yeah, if you did have to pay for it, I'd say it'd probably land in that $30 to $40 game range.
Yeah, I think it was 50. That's where it was. I could be wrong about that, but
it's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, which if you don't and you have an Xbox,
what are you doing?
Shame on you.
Yeah, or even a computer.
Yeah,
great.
It's an amazing deal. Get Game Pass. But that is a review from us on the Medium Super Platinum Achievement here. If you like this review, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button down below, or ring the notification bell so you can see when we do reviews on other things or anything else video game related. And always stop by with us here at
Super Platinum Achievement.
See you guys.